Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'll try to sell Rust to you guys, and I hope by the end of this video, you're going to buy it and you are going to use it and you are going to create a lot of good projects and softwares in it and get started with it. So to talk about Rust, I'll open my Chrome tab first. So I've actually a lot of Chrome tabs open. So before talking about why Rust, we'll talk about the origin of Rust. So it was started as a personal project by a Mozilla research employee named Gradon in 2006, and in 2009 Mozilla started sponsoring it soon after realizing its potential. And the project was officially announced in 2010 by Mozilla. In 2015, they actually launched the first version, and in 2017 they launched Mozilla Quantum, which was much better than the previous versions, and it solved a lot of problem they were facing in C++, a lot of vulnerabilities and speed issues. So that was actually solved by Rust, and that's how Rust got its name in the market. That it's blazingly fast and awesome. So it's been sponsored and it's been taken care by the Mozilla. And so let's talk about why Rust. Mozilla has already proven that it's worth it. And I often hear that people who start with Rust are facing issues that and they are saying that the developer experience is not that great or the learning curve is very steep. So I have just this quote for them or these words said by Joker that what doesn't kill you simply makes you stronger. So if you survive in Rust, you are definitely going to get stronger. And according to me, as per my experience so far, I feel that Rust is like the Infinity Gauntlet. So if you place all the stone at the right place, then you can snap 9 times like no cares. So what got me started with Rust? Actually, I saw this tweet back in the end of December 2021 that Rust is a perfect programming language by Jack Dorsey. Then he also answered it's for real-time system. It's for I also saw the tweet from Elon Musk that he is a huge fan of Rust. Also mentions about C, but since C is more than 30 years old, but Rust is 7 years old, with time Rust will mature and give a neck-to-neck challenge to C or C++. Now let's go to this blog. This blog says why Rust is so popular. So says that according to 2020 Stack Overflow surveys, Rust is the most loved programming language, and 86% of people who start learning Rust use it again. Then we have Rust with Luca Palmieri. We are going to talk about Luca Palmieri later on. He is a very big enthusiast. So benefits of Rust, it has zero cost abstraction, which means that a lot of things are done in compile time to save the runtime performance issues or runtime performance cost actually. So it has built-in support for concurrency. It has the ownership model. So if you assign a value to a variable and then reassign it to some other variable, then the value is moved. And it has very thorough and impressive documentation that we'll look into in next app. Yeah, so it offers a lot of things. Let's go on to their official website. They say that language empowering everyone to build reliable and efficient software. It offers performance, reliability, and productivity. So using this, you can create command line tools, WebAssembly tools, networking tools, embedded softwares. So WebAssembly basically means WASM, using which you can create web apps. Right now, it's not that performant in comparison with JavaScript, but with time, it's going to mature as the Rust community will put more efforts into it. Let's move on to we have official package manager for Rust, unlike C++. So here you can publish your crates or use someone else's crate. For example, right now here I have such Crosstown, which is a crate that you can use to build really cool CLI apps. And to talk about documentation, here I have opened the documentation for the Syncrate. So whenever you publish a package, the documentation is automatically updated on docs.rs. So here it mentions the modules it has, the macros it has, the struct it has, enums and everything. So you can search anything here and you can use it project as per your requirement. This crate is being developed by David Tolman, who is a really great Rust developer. He has also created crates like this area. It's a pretty cool for error handling and stuff. And this is the official book of Rust, which anyone who is starting with Rust can go through. It's very easy to read, and there's a lot of stuff you can learn from it to get started with. And then we have 7 reasons why you should use Rust. Blah blah blah. Here we have it's been backed by Rust Foundation, and which includes members like these big names. And it's a modern alternative of C++. So Rust is being touted as the language for the next 20 or 40 years. The official package manager Cargo. Yeah, so there are many built-in tools that comes with the Rust ecosystem. So there's Cargo, which you can use to create the project. You can also use Cargo expand that you can use to expand the code for macro and stuff. We also have tools like Bacon. We also have Cargo Clippy. It basically tells you if your code is not good or if it's smelly or if it's not performing. It will give you hints. Moving on. So this is something comparison between Java, Go, and Rust. Uh, they created some endpoints and then they had a look at the performance. So this is the size compared in megabytes. It's less for Rust. Ideal memory usage is less. The CPU usage is also less. Hitting endpoint, the memory usage is less, and requests per second for Rust are more than Go and Java. So clearly it shows that it outperforms Go and Java in terms of endpoints, creating endpoints. Then we have this thing, actually Virtual created TurboPack. It's all written in Rust. So they claim that it's 10x faster than Write and 700x faster than Webpack. So it's basically the successor of Webpack, which is great. Then we have Google says Android runs better when covered in Rust. So they started porting some of the code in Rust and they realized that after porting the Android code in Rust, there are less memory vulnerabilities. So it's a good news. Then scientists are also using Rust. They've started using. I also know a guy named Coding Mental Models. He is using Rust to simulate his quantum physics projects, which is great actually. Then we have Rust in Linux kernel. So we recently heard a news that Rust is going into Linux kernel, so it's now the secondary language. So they are looking forward to recode all the components that are less performant. So they want to improve it. So we can also create desktop apps using Rust. So this is one of the great frame using which you can create desktop apps. I personally use this. It's decent. You can use and you can create, and then you can also WASM it, put it on web. Recently, there was a news that Tori released alpha version for mobile, using which you can create mobile apps. That's great news. So with time, they'll launch beta version, then stable version, and then you can create mobile apps also using Rust. And with Tori, you can create desktop apps. So people have been creating and they are liking it. We have this Bevy game engine using which you can create 2D and 3D games in Rust. I've seen many amazing examples on Twitter where people share their 3D games. So it's a very easy to use framework. I have personally used it for a 2D game. It's cool. So here are the games mentioned with the tag Bevy. I've not personally gone through all the games, but they have been tagged as Bevy, so you can have a look at them. Yeah, so we can also create web applications. We can write the endpoints using this Rocket framework. The syntax looks very similar to Node.js. In Node.js we have decorators, but here we have macros. Macros is something related to metaprogramming that we'll talk on later. Yeah, so we can also use Rust in Web3. Some of the major projects that are using it are Solana, Polkadot, Hyperledger, Sawtooth, Elrond, Near Protocol. So these are all the good projects in the crypto space. They have been using it. Let's move on to the events that are happening in Rust. So Rust is growing very rapidly and it has become a cult. People are learning it more and more. So these are the events that are happening. So I was looking forward to go here. Let's see. So you can Google search what all events are happening. Go there and look what people are doing. It will be a really great experience. So now, up till now, I have known some people who are really great enthusiasts and who are uh, giving a lot in the ecosystem. So I like to share a few of them. So first one is Prime Agent. He is a very big Rust supporter and enthusiast. So I like his tweets on Rust, and he's a great guy in Rust actually. Then we have Luca Vilmeri. He has written a book named Zero to Production in Rust. He is also a very big contributor in Rust. Then we have David Tolney. I already talked about him. He is a legend. He's like a super saiyan. He has coded a lot of modules. By modules, I mean crates in Rust, which are being very heavily used. Then we have John Hu. He is also a very great guy in Rust. He has written a book named Rust for Crustaceans, and he do OSS and stuff. So he has created like videos with a length of 5 hours and stuff. So he is on the next level. Then we have Rust Hobbies. She always tweets about Rust and retweets everything about Rust. She is also a very great enthusiast of Rust, and she is a Synth node. And I hope this all can get you started with Rust, and by now you might be excited to start with Rust. And you like my content and my video, then don't forget to like it and subscribe my channel if you want to see my content more. And don't forget to press the notification button if you want to see notifications of my upcoming videos. So this is it for this video. Thank you guys.